this is incredibly, incroyablement, the 10th EPSC. And I don't know about you guys, but I still think of this as a young meeting. And to suddenly realise that we've made it for a decade and that we're alive and strong and flourishing into the future is, as I hope I can show you, is a testament to the hard work and the vision of a lot of people. So, welcome to Nantes, EPSC 10. This year we have approximately 925 abstracts, I think, the last time I looked. Expecting between 700 and 750 people. So yeah, the first one was in Berlin, second in Potsdam, third in Münster, fourth again in Potsdam, fifth in Roma, and we started to go through a phase of growth, I think, in Roma. And then Nantes was, as many of you know, the joint meeting that we had with DPS, which was a fabulous success, I think. Then Madrid, London. London was the first time that we had over 1,000 people at an EPSC without a DPS contribution. Last year in Lisbon, and this year back in Nantes. Now, what I wanted to do very briefly was name check some of the heroes of those 10 EPSCs. And in particular, I wanted to start off by remembering Arnie Richter. Many of you will have known Arnie. He was the inspiration, well, he started off as a world-class magnetospheric physicist, but he was the inspiration of the European Geoscience Union. And in our first days when we were getting started at EPSC, he was a tremendous help behind the scenes and very, very supportive. So I want to thank Arnie. I also want to thank, from when we first get started, Michel Blanc, who with his Europlanet hat on and his many other hats, had the vision, I think, to see that we could combine Europlanet with an EPSC. So thank you, Michel. And Helmut Rucker at the same time was also fabulous. As always, I want to thank all of Copernicus, Mario Abel, Martin Rasmussen, who carries on the wonderful tradition of Arnie Richter, Katra Grande, who also has done an awful lot with the conferences. Then I want to thank all the people who have actually organised EPSCs. And EPSC, as I want to emphasise to you, and I think that one of the roots of our success is that we're a bottom-up organisation, and the people who actually locally organise these meetings are a big part of that. So Ralph Schramer, I think for the first 3 or 4, did an absolutely mighty and heroic job. I don't know if he's around here, but thank you very much, Ralph, who's still with us, of course. Maria Teresa, who I think, as I said, when we went to Rome, we started to really move on to the international stage. Olivier Grasset, who organised the first Nantes meeting. Felipe Gomez, Steve Miller, who organised the London meeting. Jose Duran, who organised the Lisbon meeting. And then other people who've played major roles. Athena Kustenis, Jean-Pierre Le Breton, who's been our conscience, I think, for the whole 10 years. Nigel Mason, who supported us strongly from Europlanet. But the person I want to, or the people, and there are very many of them, probably several hundred. I hope to get a list out, but I couldn't actually manage to do that. But I think there must be several hundred, at least, maybe 500 conveners. And it's conveners who make this conference what it is. This bottom-up conference. If you've got a good idea for a session, tell us, and the chances are that if you're passionate about it, we'll give you the opportunity to build a session. And the sessions that people build like that are great, and I think what bring people to this meeting and what make us unique in some ways. The other things I think that we do really well, we act as a platform. We act as a platform for Europlanet, and we act as a platform for splinter meetings. So if you're putting together a proposal for an M5 mission, for example, and you want a room where plenty of your planetary colleagues will be in the vicinity, EPSC is your place. So again, let us know and we will do all we can, and that's quite a lot these days, to support you. In terms of numbers, this time we've got 60 sessions, I think 923 abstracts, 750 odd attenders. The numbers are looking good. And what you see here is a plot of how the numbers have gone over the year. You see the years. You see an enormous blip in 2011, which was the joint meeting with DPS. But you see, I think, an upward trend throughout the years, and long may that continue. So EPS has become established as a regular annual meeting. It's our 10th anniversary. If you would like to host a future meeting, please come and talk to me or to Maria Teresa or to anyone else on the executive committee. I should have mentioned when I showed this list of heroes that many of them are now on the executive committee, and that's what we'd like, is people who have had experience of actually building real good meetings. Please come to the Europlanet General Assembly. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. It is Wednesday, not Thursday. I apologise to that. I shouldn't have written my slides in advance. Please do come to the Europlanet General Assembly. And let me remind those of you who don't know that Europlanet is a European Union action to support and enable and grow European planetary science. We are now just starting on the third epoch of Europlanet. We have, starting at the beginning of this month, about 10 million euros of Europlanet money, which will be spent on building European research infrastructure in planetary science. EPSC is an offspring of Europlanet. We remain joined at the hip, and this is the Europlanet platform. Please come along to the General Assembly and find out what your part might be in the future of Europlanet on Wednesday. Okay, I just wanted to point out also that this is, we're extremely lucky. When we started 10 years ago, people were saying this is the golden age and it's all downhill from here. What I want to emphasise with this opening ceremony is that actually we're in a new golden age. And if you just look at these pictures, there's Ceres, the Dawn mission at Ceres. There's, some of you may not, well, hopefully all of you can recognise Mars, but some of you may not realise that this is a picture from the Indian spacecraft, which is in orbit around Mars as we speak. There is, of course, a fabulous European mission going on to Rosetta, also as we speak, and we also just saw great data coming back from Pluto. And I could go on and on. There's a whole herd of missions there that are all producing great data. And what's interesting with EPSC is that the three big sessions, or groups of sessions this time round, are based around the successful missions that are happening now. So a lot of interest in small bodies and a lot of interest in Mars. That's the growing areas, and that simply reflects where the new data is coming from. Right, so I talked about the past and the present. The future, of course, is young scientists. And let me just do this quick advertisement for Wednesday, 17:45. Young scientists, you know we have a strong young scientist card here. Incidentally, if you are a young scientist and want to come to EPSC, make sure that you register for our flat rate bursary scheme. So there's a flat rate contribution to people close to their PhD submissions in order to help the dissemination of the great science that's being presented here. So don't miss out on that this time and in future. But this also reminds me that I need to talk quickly. On Wednesday, there's a flash science game, you will have 180 seconds and one slide to present your research in a fun and original way. So, oldies aren't precluded from that, but young guys especially, come along, contact Rossi and book your slot. Should be good, should be fun actually. Okay, next year is something really new, because we're a big meeting now. We're going to leave this continent, and we're going to have EPSC 11 will be a joint mission with our friends, a joint meeting with our friends, the American Astronomical Society Division of Planetary Sciences in Pasadena, USA, and Diane Blaney will tell you more about that in a minute. For 2007 and beyond, we've received already 8, maybe 9 now, expressions of interest. We've had excellent formal bids from Berlin, Riga, Liège and Llandudno. I'd hoped that I would be able to make an announcement of where the next one will be today, but we haven't quite finished that process. But that announcement will be made very shortly, and all of those are great places to go. We're also investigating closer ties with the European Lunar Symposium, and I think in future you may see overlaps and synergies between ourselves and the European lunar community, even more than they are now. That's an example of synergies with other communities. As I said, we welcome anyone else who would like to suggest ways of joining the platform. We have a full session, so I'll shut up. This is the program for the rest of the week. You can see there's lots of great stuff going on. I think it's a very good program this time around. Thank you all.